It seems like the last few weeks I've been talking about some really good deals in gaming. Longtime viewers know that on this channel I cover a lot of Nintendo topics and news, and usually I dedicate at least one video every week to those awesome deals that happen over on the Nintendo Switch eShop. Lately though, the 3DS and Wii U have been hosting some really good deals as well, likely because of the impending closures of both platforms' eShops. These games have been eye-opening in their value, great games at some serious rock-bottom prices. Well, this time Sega and Atlus take center stage with an absolutely massive discount of their 3DS library. Fantastic RPGs, unique 3D entries, and classic games are all discounted. 40 freaking games on sale on the 3DS eShop. This is literally a can't miss sale, especially since for some of these games on today's list, it is by far cheaper getting it on this sale than trying to go after their expensive physical counterparts. There's a lot of games to talk about in today's video, so hang on, make sure to subscribe to the channel, and let's dive right into this can't miss 3DS sale. This might very well be your last chance. Atlus sure published a lot of RPGs for the 3DS. The first part of this video is going to focus on those RPGs, and we're going to kick things off with the Persona Q games, which are both crossover games with different entries in the franchise. Both of these have a focus on dungeon crawling, like the Etrian Odyssey series. If you really like the later Persona characters, you're really going to like how they interact with each other in these side stories. There's still turn-based battles, and all that classic Persona style that you love from the main games, that's all here. The first one, Persona Q Shadow of Labyrinth, is $7.99, while its sequel, Persona Q2 New Cinema Labyrinth, is just a little more at $9.99. They are great games, and worth getting for your 3DS. Some entries in the mainline Shin Megami Tensei series are also on the 3DS. Shin Megami Tensei 4 is just $7.99, which is a steal for one of the best RPGs on the platform. For those unaware of the mainline series, they tend to be pretty challenging, but really rewarding, with lots of dark and mature themes. Also, you get to have other monsters join you, but often you have to convince them to do so, and that is no easy task. It's great stuff, trust me. There was a sequel to the fourth entry, Shin Megami Tensei 4 Apocalypse, which is set in a post-apocalyptic world, I guess hence the title. It's just as good in my opinion, and definitely worth getting if you invested time in the previous game. It's on sale for $8.99. Shin Megami Tensei Strange Journey Redux is part of the mainline series as well, and this is actually an enhanced port of the DS game. This version features voice acting, new demons, new artwork, new routes, endings, and even a new character. So even if you have the DS entry like myself, it's definitely worth getting the 3DS version for the best experience. This one is $9.99 on the eShop sale. There were a number of spin-off Shin Megami games on the 3DS too. Atlus went all out for this handheld. Shin Megami Tensei Devil Survivor Overclocked is an enhanced port of the DS entry that features full voice acting, difficulty settings, 20 plus new demons, a new chapter, and more. It's $7.99 on this eShop sale. Likewise, Shin Megami Tensei Devil Survivor 2 Record Breaker is an enhanced port of the DS version. This one features several improvements, a new arc after the main game, a new character, and more. This one is also $7.99. Finally, for the Shin Megami Tensei series, there is Shin Megami Tensei Devil Summoner, which is not an enhanced port of a DS version. Nope, you guessed wrong. It is an enhanced port of an entry for the Sega Saturn and PlayStation consoles. Okay, it's more or less built from the ground up for the 3DS, but at least for this one, we never received an English version since the previous versions were in Japanese only, so this release is actually a big deal. There's a lot of dungeon exploring in this one, with plenty of the series' trademark gameplay elements. It's $7.99 on the eShop sale. I like all the Shin Megami Tensei games, and to get them all for this cheap, I'll be honest, if you're an RPG fan and you want to play these games, it's worth getting every one of these. I recommend each and every one of them, but there's even more RPGs on sale. Did I mention this was a big sale? It's a big sale. The Etrian Odyssey series are dungeon crawler role-playing games that have been exclusive to the DS and 3DS Nintendo systems. Their gameplay is a bit of old school meets new school, with the dungeon crawling first-person aspect being reminiscent of 90s games of similar nature. This is all coupled with modern improvements to turn-based battles, including visuals. They are a bit of an acquired taste, but people that love them really love them. Etrian Odyssey Untold is a semi-remake of the first game with new animated cutscenes and voice acting. It's $7.99 on the eShop and a great way to start into the series. Etrian Odyssey 2 Untold is a remake of the second game with a lot of new features, including new cutscenes, a new soundtrack, and more. It's $7.99 on the eShop as well. Etrian Odyssey 4 Legends of the Titan was the first game in the series released for the 3DS, and the first to feature an overworld in addition to dungeon exploration. It's a good RPG, though I think the later entries improved greatly. Just like the others, this one is $7.99 on the eShop. Etrian Odyssey 5 Beyond the Myth is a late release 3DS title and was intended to be the last in the series. It features all the improvements in gameplay and visuals from the previous entries, and this one is a little bit more at $8.99 on the eShop. Finally, there's Etrian Odyssey Nexus, which came out on the eShop in 2019, and this is quite possibly one of the last major titles from a major publisher for the platform. Of course, there's been plenty of indie games since then. This is the last one in the series, and this one is $9.99 on the eShop. There's even more RPG goodness in this eShop sale. Radiant Historia Perfect Chronology is an expanded remake of the much-loved DS entry. If you like 16-bit RPGs of the past, then you'll feel right at home with this one. There's some improvements from the DS entry, including a new skill support system. If you have the ability to purchase only one game from this sale, I would most certainly say this is the one to get. It's fantastic. It's $9.99 on the eShop sale. Another great JRPG for the system is Stella Glow, with this one featuring full 3D turn-based battles and a lot of style. This one doesn't get talked about a whole heck of a lot, but I think people sleep on this one. It's great, and the graphic style works really well on the 3DS. It's $7.99 on the eShop sale, and just like many others, this is a steal. The final RPG on this sale is 7th Dragon 3 Code VFD, which is an entry in a series that really hasn't seen release elsewhere outside of Japan. This is actually the 4th entry, set 80 years after the first 2 games. It is a dungeon crawler like the Etrian Odyssey games, and I think it's a nice RPG, but it's not nearly as good as the others on this list. It's $8.99, so it's still worth getting for a steal of a price, but it's just overshadowed a bit by the Etrian Odyssey series. In addition to the massive JRPG sale from Sega and Atlus, there is a big sale going on the 3DS for arcade, Master System, Sega Genesis, and Mega Drive ports to the platform. What really makes these retro releases interesting, they make use of both screens, as well as the 3D tech the 3DS has built in. Now you can most certainly buy these if you have a 2DS model. They are playable, but you will miss that nice 3D effect. They are all on sale for $2.99, half off the original price, and I'm going to go very quickly through these, as in most cases they speak for themselves. There's the first Sonic the Hedgehog game and Altered Beast, both based on the Sega Genesis Mega Drive versions. 3D Shinobi 3 Return of the Ninja Master is one of my favorite games on the 16-bit console, and absolutely worth getting in this version. There's 3D Fantasy Zone, as well as the updated version of the sequel, 3D Fantasy Zone 2W. There's also 3D Galaxy Force 2, as well as 3D Thunderblade, and they are all fun retro shooters. At this point, it's worth mentioning that there is a collection, Sega 3D Classics Collection for the 3DS, and that is on sale. It includes a number of titles that I just mentioned, in addition to ones that are exclusive to it, so make sure to check that out, especially since it's only $8 on the eShop sale. I highly recommend getting this. But there's even more 3D Sega Retro Classics on sale, again for $2.99, half off their normal price. There's 3D Sonic the Hedgehog 2, which looks great with the 3D effect. even more so than the first one. There is 3D Streets of Rage and 3D Streets of Rage 2, classic beat-em-ups for the Sega Genesis and Mega Drive that are still fun to play today. I love Outrun, and the 3D effect on 3D Outrun really sucks you in. 3D Gunstar Heroes, oh my goodness, this is such an awesome game, and the 3D effect is mind-blowing. There's 3D Afterburner 2, which looks great in 3D, and finally there's 3D Space Harrier, 3D Echo the Dolphin, and 3D Super Hang-On. Again, all of these are $2.99, so you can build a nice Sega retro collection on your handheld for very cheap. This sale though doesn't just include RPGs or classic games, there's original 3DS entries from Sega that are also on sale. Sonic Generations is actually very different from its console and PC counterparts, in that it has different levels from those entries. It still mostly retains the 2D style of gameplay that Sonic is known for. This is $9.99 on the Sega eShop sale. Sonic Lost World is very much like its Wii U counterpart, where it retains its 3D gameplay with worlds semi-similar to Super Mario Galaxy and the cancelled Sonic Extreme. The 3D effect looks well enough in this one. Even still, I think the Wii U version is better, especially with the exclusive DLC for the console, but for $10, it's still fun. Oh man, the Sonic Boom games. The good news is they are better than the Wii U Sonic Boom game. The bad news, even still, they are not very good regardless. There are much better ways to get your Sonic fix on the 3DS, but if you still want them, Sonic Boom Shattered Crystal and Sonic Boom Fire and Ice are $10 each on the 3DS sale. Sonic and All-Star Racing Transformed might be my second favorite racing game on the 3DS that isn't Mario Kart. I love how the track changes, as well as the vehicle changes during each race, and it is a lot of fun. Just like Sonic Lost World, I think the console PC version is better, but again, it's only $10 on the sale. Super Monkey Ball 3D is an exclusive 3DS adventure where you can either use the Circle Pad Pro or the internal gyroscope to play. It is very ho-hum and average at best, and by far not the best adventure in the series. I only recommend it if you just really love the series. It's $7.99 on the eShop sale. The final game in the Sega Atlas eShop sale is a gem, and that is Rhythm Thief and the Emperor's Treasure. It is a rhythm puzzle game that is quite good and absolutely worth getting on the 3DS. There is a version that was released for the iOS, but this is the version to get. It just uses style and the adventure is fun. It's only $7.99 on the eShop, and seriously, get this, you will not regret it. As I've said before, it's great to see these sales happening for the 3DS. It's just a damn shame that the eShop is ending, but at least we are getting some deep discounts to capitalize on. Just a reminder, if you really love RPGs on the platform, really consider picking these up. They are expensive on the third-party market, but once that eShop closes, they will drastically rise in value. Also, don't forget about DLC. A number of these titles have both paid and free DLCs, so if you really like some of these games, it might be worth getting the DLC too. As a final note, this sale is going on until April 17th, so you have a good amount of time before it ends to pick up some great games. As always, if you liked the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. It lets me know that you like it. And if you're not yet a subscriber, then make sure to click on the subscribe and bell buttons so you never miss out on any videos that go live each and every week on this channel. Those videos also include the Switch eShop sale video that I post each and every week on this channel, so make sure to check out the deals playlist as well as the other videos on my channel. Anyway, that's all for me today. I want to thank you so much for watching and subscribing. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll catch you next time.